So welcome to part, I think it's 8 now, no, maybe 9, part 9 of the 16 valve build. This is the stage we're at. We've got a bunch of parts that I've been painting in the meantime. There's one of them just finishing off, and just preparing so that I can put stuff together. It is amazing when, even if it's something you're not going to see again, if you've cleaned it off and painted it, assembling it is really nice. Just bits like starter motor and bolts and vac pumps and stuff. But I'm a bit stuck at this point. You kind of got to work your way backwards to work out what you need to do. I'd like to put the cams in, time it all up. I certainly can't time it up yet because I need to get a flywheel on the end of that to time it up, so that's not useful at the moment, but we'll come to that. I've been working a little bit on engine mount. We'll talk about that another day because I'm ignoring that for now. But what I wanted to do is to get the cams in and all the rockers and lifters. The top cam cover is kind of got the journals in as well. It's all in one, and the inlet manifolds all in one. So we've cleaned it up. You might have seen in previous episode how filthy that was, and that's how it looks now. So that was quite a lot of effort. Just a lick of paint on the top, just kind of it looked a bit scummy. But I can't just fit this, and I'll show you why. Well, I can just fit this. Obviously I'd take the paper off before fitting it and put some cams in, but basically you're kind of always looking at where you're going to hit stuff. So I've had to move this across a little bit at the moment, that's not a problem. So I wanted to fit some sensors. Oh, that's good. There it is. So this is an inlet air temperature sensor. And obviously the idea is to then connect that to a gauge of some sort, probably Arduino, and then we know what the inlet's doing. Now I'm going to do a couple of things here. We're going to blank off the EGR, the plate, and put a tap in there for boost. And then the pipe that's going to be made very soon, hopefully for this, I've got to make a plate up here and then send it to Alex, who I'll be talking more about later on. He's going to be a massive help here, our welding king. Anyway, basically I want to fit this. Now if I fit it in the top, I don't really know yet what kind of clearances I'm going to have, and it's kind of nice and just clean and fresh. So instead I want to put this underneath, under here. So it's going to go in there. Seems to be a nice little recess in here, there's nothing happening. The injection line goes in there, the injection lines then come over the top, around like this. So there's nothing kind of happening in here. So I'm going to do is use this flat panel here, drill a hole, tap it, and put that in there. And obviously I can't do that once this is fitted, so you kind of see what's happening here. I'm having to kind of go back a couple of steps sometimes before I can go forwards, and nobody's waiting for this to arrive. So next job is just to cut a hole in that, drill a hole, get it to the right size, tap a thread, and stick a basic little air temperature sensor in. So that'll be ideal, and then we'll know what sort of inlet temperatures we're getting and how stuff is performing. Winning. Let's sort that out. It's starting to look clean. Right, so there we have it. There's our inlet air temperature sensor. You can just see it sitting perfectly in line, which is exactly kind of where I want it, and it will clear nicely. So when it sits over here, I'll sort of show you with a plastic cover on, I guess, because I can't do this one-handed very well. So that'll sit in there, and that'll sit under there like that. So you won't really see it, you just see the greasy marks on my clean inlet. I don't really need to do that next, so next job is just to get the cam timing and crank timing done. We can't get it perfect, so I won't be putting a belt on, but I can get the head timed up, which is the 2 cams with the chain and the marks done, if I make sure that the piston's at the right place. So that's fine, we can just drop a screwdriver in and get close to top dead centre. That'll be fine. So I think we can do that now. Right, so I think this is mid-episode, but I was kind of interrupted earlier, so I'm going to just re-grease all these journal bearings and the cams, because it covers half of it. Basically, the chain's all oiled up from before, so we use some of our assembly grease here, just grease it up a little bit, and Just realised how this is leaning so much. Good old level floor. And then we're going to put the top on it basically, which will push all the cams into place, and then we can get the cam seal in, vacuum pump on, time the thing up hopefully soon, hopefully this weekend. We'll get it up off the stand now so we can get flywheel and gearbox on, we can time stuff up. And we can start bolting stuff to it, and then I think I mentioned earlier, the next thing then is really obviously making the exhaust manifold. That's our next biggest job. So let's get on with this. It'd be nice to get this finally, a lid on the engine. Good-o. Right then, so with the inlet on, which is also the cam carriers, they get torqued down to about 10 Newton meters. Thank you very much. You haven't barked all morning, but now she does. Quiet all morning, and then they bark when I'm videoing. Right, anyway, so that's the top on. There's 10 Newton meters all around. Doesn't seem much, but there's loads of bolts to sort of level out the way it squeezes it down, because it is just a fine gasket that goes in. It's not a paper gasket or a metal gasket. It's an actual sealant that goes in there, which you didn't see me putting in. So I'm just going to put some bit of paper just down the bungs for the injectors, and just in the back here in the exhaust ports, just so that nothing can get in now, because this is firmly fixed down. And then we can put on a tensioner here, which is on the chain here. It goes on there. It's an oil pressured tensioner, and then there's a black cam cover, rocker cover as you might call it, to go on, and that's kind of all sealed in, which we'll do in a second. Then it's a basic getting it off, getting it timed up, and start worrying about engine mounts. Brilliant. It's good. I feel good about this. I don't think it's far away. We'll get the car out soon and strip the engine out of that, so this is going to be ready to hang in it soon. Good things.